Today, we're going to do something different. Today I'm going to attempt to capture the essence of my limerent object in writing. It's just one of those days. You know when you have an idea and you think, yeah, this is what I want to do for the next 18 hours? Straight without sleep. Until I finish it, and then I can go back to pretending that I've got my shit together. But then, of course, nothing ever goes according to plan. I wrote this a few weeks ago after realizing that I didn't actually have anything scheduled for the day. Let's give it a try. Let's see where this goes. You may have noticed, if you've been watching my channel for a while, that I often talk about this thing. I hold it up all the time. I take it places. I've even taken it on planes. And whenever I do, I get asked the same 3 questions by my fellow passengers. What is that? Where did you get that? Can I hold it? I guess these are 4 questions. And to be honest with you, I don't blame you. It's quite an unusual thing. I should preface this by saying that I am no expert in limerence. In fact, the only reason I know what limerence is because I found out about it in a Reddit thread about people who have intense feelings towards inanimate objects. This object has followed me around for the past few years, and I have made some pretty dumb decisions because of it, but more on that later. As far as I can tell, there are only 2 other people in the world who own something like this, and I've never met them. As far as I can tell, this thing is entirely handmade. No glue was used anywhere on this thing. All of the pieces are held together by metal. There is also a small metal plate screwed into the bottom that says copyright 2019. The rest of the backstory is unknown. When I first saw this, I knew I had to have it. I mean, look at it. How could anyone resist? How could anyone look at this and not want to pick it up and hug it? Look at its eyes. Look at its little paws. Does it not just exude cuteness? I don't care how jaded you are. You can't tell me that doesn't make you feel just a little bit warm inside. That's the power this thing has over me. That's the power this thing has over everyone. So I reached out to the creator, but they didn't reply. They never have replied. I've tried reaching out to them several times, but each time I've just gotten form responses or nothing at all. Maybe they don't want to be contacted. Maybe they're still out there making more of these things and they'll eventually see this video and decide to reach out. If that happens, I will link to their store down below. So please, if you're out there, contact me. I want to buy everything you make. If I had to guess, this thing is about 4 pounds, maybe less. It feels like it weighs more than that, but I think that S, just because I always have it in my bag, and I forget that it's even there. Then I take it out and I'm like, dang, this thing really weighs a ton. Then I put it back in my bag and I do think about it again. Until I need to find something else to distract me from the fact that my life has become increasingly meaningless. When I first bought this thing, it was very floppy. It could stand up on its own, and it would kind of just sit there and stare at you awkwardly. Over time, though, it began to stiffen up, and now it can stand up on its own and walk around. It seems to be getting stiffer as time goes on, which I suppose is a problem for the future owners of this thing. Whoever ends up with this after me, I hope they're prepared for that. The fur on this thing is incredibly soft. It almost feels like there's a coat of wax over it, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Either way, it feels amazing, and is probably the main factor in why I love this thing so much. I would say that the fur on this thing is better than any plushie I've ever felt. It's definitely better than the munchies. It doesn't seem to shed at all, which is nice. And I've never had any issues with pulling or matting. To be honest with you, I haven't really taken good care of this thing at all. I bring it everywhere and I put it in my backpack without putting it in a protective case or anything. I suppose that's part of the reason I love this thing so much. It's not that I treat it well. It's that I don't treat it well, and it still looks great. So let's talk about some of the things I've done with this. One time I took it on a flight and I brought it home from the airport. I decided to stick it under my pillow as a surprise for myself when I wake up in the morning. Well, it wasn't a surprise because I woke up and then I realized it was there. So instead, I just went to sleep with it under my pillow. The next time I took it on a trip, I decided to bring it in my carry-on luggage instead of sticking it under my pillow. That way I could take it out during the flight and cuddle with it. Of course, I was too embarrassed to actually do that. So instead I just held it in my lap and pretended I was working on my laptop the whole time. Yeah, I was definitely one of those weird people on the plane. While I won't admit to bringing it into my bed, I will admit that I sometimes bring it into the bathroom with me while I brush my teeth or do other things. I know. Some of you might be thinking, Josh, you're an adult. You shouldn't be doing this. Well, you're right. I am an adult and I shouldn't be doing this, but I do it anyway because I can't help myself. There's just something about this thing that makes me want to be around it all the time. I suppose this is a good segue into why I named it that. Basically, it's a play on words. I'm limerent, therefore I am limerent. I don't know, I thought it was funny. Now that I think about it, maybe it's a little weird. So earlier I mentioned that I made some dumb decisions because of this thing. I think the most recent one was buying a second one. Yes, I own 2 of these things now. I thought it would be cool to have a backup in case something happened to the original one. I know, super smart. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with the second one. I may sell it, but I haven't really had the heart to do that yet. Maybe ILL. Just keep it here in my office and use it for reference when I am painting or drawing. Either way, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. In my opinion, it's slightly smaller than the original one. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I think it adds to the charm of it. Both of these things are missing a few accessories that came with them, including the tails and ears. I think I lost them in the move last year. I haven't really looked for them though. All in all, I'm pretty happy with this thing. I've had it for a few years now, and I don't think anything could change that. Well, except maybe finding the person who made this thing and asking them to make a third one. I wouldn't say that I'm addicted to this thing. After all, I do have a life outside of it. I have a job. I go out with friends. I do all the normal things. I just also happen to bring this thing with me everywhere. Sometimes it sits on my desk while I work. Other times it sits in my lap. But every once in a while, when no one is looking, I'll take it out and give it a quick hug before putting it back and getting back to whatever I was doing. It's a nice feeling, a nice distraction from the emptiness that's inside of me. And with that, I think I'm done here. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry if this was a boring video. I honestly don't know what else to say. I don't usually make videos like this, so it's a little out of my comfort zone. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. If you did, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. Thanks again, and have a good one.